Hello everyone, this is Hassan and today's video I will share you a step-by-step guide to properly tracking contact form 7. I am not show only the tracking contact form 7 as well as I will show how we can collect the information of user submission. For example, when someone submitting a form, he also putting some information like his first name, last name, email address. How we can collect those information also using the Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. Today's video I will share you. And another thing is that many cases you may need the hash version of email address. So I will show that option also in this video. Let's get started. And before starting the thing, at first we need to come this code. In the video description I will share the code, and then you see that you should find some information about how we should use this code. But now I am showing how we can use this code. At first we need to go to Google Tag Manager. From the Google Tag Manager we need to create a new tags. From the tags tab, here we can easily create a new tag. I'm just clicking new button and just writing the name of the tag, contact form 7 data layer this. This is the naming convention. This is the title. You can give any name which is aligned with your work. And then in the tag configuration section, we need to take custom HTML. And because we are using JavaScript code, you see, if I go to, at first we need to go to the cf7.layer.js, that file. And you see the code is JavaScript code, but this field is custom HTML. And if we hover over mouse, you will get some instruction also here, that be sure to jump JavaScript snippets with script tag. So we are going to use JavaScript code, so we need to use the script tag inside this custom HTML. I am just copying the paste, and between those two tag, this is actually HTML script tag, and this is the ending tab of a script tag. And then I'm going back to my file cf7.ls and just clicking here to copy all of the code here, and pasting it inside both of the tag. And now of course we need to select a trigger. We should click here and then we can choose all pages and then save it. Now if we go to preview mode, let me see what we are getting here. This is my website. Google Tag Assistant is perfectly connected with my website, and this is my website. If we scroll down and go to the very bottom of the page, we should get a contact form 7. This is the form, and the form is built with contact form 7. Let we fill the form with dummy information like this, and test and send. If we press the send message, the form has been submitted. And if we go back to our preview mode, our tag manager, you see we are getting a event name, data layer event cf7 submit, as well as if we check here, we are getting all of the input values. We are getting the form id, page id, as well as inputs. And if we go to data layer, from here we also should get the same information. This is my input values. This was my name, email address, which I have put for submitting the form. Now many cases you may need the hash version of this email address. If you need hash version of email address, you can use another code in this repository. If I go here, and there is another file name cs7 data layer.js, we need to use this code. If any cases we need hash version of the email address, the code is pretty big because this code was ES6 version, but I had to compile it with ES5 because you know that Google Tag Manager does not support ES6 version of the code. If you're curious about the code, you also find this file. ES6 hash email. This is the actually real code, but this is a converted of ES5 code. We just need to copy this code, and again I am going to the file where we have created our tag for inserting the code, and this is the file. And if I replace the previous code with the recently copied code, just this way, and save it. Now if we go to the preview mode again, Google Tag Assistant is perfectly connected with my website. And now again, if we fill the form and insert the thing, just like thing, and send message. The form has been submitted, and let us check what we are getting now. If you check here, we are getting email address, and we are getting another nice thing, that is hash email address. This is the hash version of email address. Many cases you may need this thing. When you need this hash email, that cases I recommend you to use this code. And if you don't need hash version of email address, then just you can use the cs7 data layer.s, this file code. I am just copying this code again because in the next step I don't need any hash version of email address. And again, going back to the file where we have written the code, and this is the code. I'm just replacing all of the code again with the previous version, simpler version of the code, and save it. If you are professional, someone professional, I think you don't need to check the video furthermore. But if you are interested, next step I am going to show you how we can send this information in our Google Analytics. If you like, you can continue with the video, or if you don't like, you can stop here. So if we like to send this information to our Google Analytics, we need to create few more things. At first, for example, if we like to collect the form ID as well as the name of the person who has submitted the form, and we like to collect the subject here. Uh, to do that, at first we need to create the variable with those things. So I am from the Google Tag Manager. We need to go to the variables tab. From the variables tab, we are going to create three variables. Just you need to create the user defined variables section and click the new, and then data layer variable. This is the naming convention. Say form ID, and then click here, and of course it is data layer variable. And if we come here, we see that this is the information is coming as a data layer. This is the data layer, same thing is showing here. And the data layer variable, we need to use key value. This is actually key value pair of object. You see that this is the form ID, and we need to take the key to get the value as a variable in Google Tag Manager. So I am just copying the form ID like this here, and just paste it here, save it. And we also need two more thing, that is name. Actually this is coming as your name. And if you see here, you see that this your name, this information is coming inside another object input. So at first we need to copy the input. Just I'm going to create another variable name, say data layer variable, customer. And then from the from the configuration section, custom data layer variable, because it is inside the inputs object. So at first we need to paste the inputs, then dot, and then we need to access this UO name, this part. That's it, and save it. And we like to create another variable. The variable is subject. This is the subject. We can do this same way. Just I am clicking new, and then data layer variable, and then subject, and finally custom data layer variable. And again, it is inside the input, so at first we need to use this inputs, and then inputs dot subject. That's it. So we have finished our variable, and we also need to create a trigger. We can easily create trigger. Just I'm going to trigger section. We like to send the information when we are getting the contact form 7 data layer event. To create event with the data layer event, it is very easy. At first, we need to go to triggers. From the triggers, I'm just clicking new, and then this is the custom event, data layer event, DLE. We can use this, and our event name is CF7 submit. We can use this way, and then finally we need to come here and then dot custom event actually, and the event name should be exactly match with this event name. So I am just copying this information and pasting it here this way and save it. So we have successfully created our required variables as well as the trigger. Now it is time to create the original tag. So I'm going to tag section, and from the tag section, just clicking new, and then because we are sending this information Google Analytics 4, so I am just giving the naming convention GA4, and then contact form submit, contact form submit, and then the tag configuration, we need to select the Google Analytics. From the analytics section, we need to select analytics GA4 event, and the measurement ID, we need to choose measurement ID. Hope you are familiar with this. If you are not familiar with this, you can write down in video comment. I will share your details, and I have already create a constant with measurement ID. I'm just taking this ID, and then we need to put a event name, the name which we want as a event name in our Google Analytics site. So we can give contact form submit, and event parameter actually what extra information we like to pass in our Google Analytics dashboard. Event parameter, we are taking form ID. Just we can click the plus icon, and we will be able to see the our created uh, variable. This is the form ID, as well as we need to put two more things. Customer, we also write the double bracket to get quickly the variable. So customer, from the customer we need to choose the customer. This is the data layer variable, as well as we also like to share another information. The information is subject, then we can choose subject. So we are done. Sorry, we also need to select a trigger. Your cases, you need to click here. I'm just clicking here. That means you need to click here, and then need to select the event which is responsible for this event. I'm just selecting this event which we have created recently, and then save it. Now if I go to preview mode, like this, and again I am submitting the form like this. The form has been submitted, and if we come here and check this event has fired, as well as we can see the trigger fire GA4 contacts form submit. If we check our Google tag, and come here, we see that the contact form submit event has fired and the information has sent to our Google Analytics. You see that this is the customer name, this is the submit subject of the form. And if we check further details, we can go to our debug view from our Google Analytics. You should get it from the admin section. You see we are getting the contact form submit event. And if we check here, we are getting our expected form ID as well as we are getting subject and customer. Yeah, this one is the customer. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. If in your website there are only one form and all of the form, if you like to track with a single tag, then this is perfectly fine. But there are many form in your website, and if you like to track each of the forms separately with separate tag, that cases you need to do few more work. For example, if I go to my website and go to the open ticket, you see that the form is not exactly same form what we have submitted. The form is different. Then if I send this information like the same, this case is also the CS7 submit and we are getting the exact same tag file. If we like to actually this form is submit ticket, and in the contact form, contact page and home page, those are the only contact form. So if we like to submit the trigger the event only for submitting the contact form, that cases we need to use few more steps. We have already created the if we come here and scroll down, you see that we are getting also, if I go to the data layer, we are getting the form ID, and this one is contact form and this form is actually ticket form. You see that those two form ID is different. This is the form ID for ticket form and this is the form ID for contact form. We can easily actually change our trigger with this condition. So I'm just copying this information and going to our trigger section, and this was our event for actually contact form submit. I'm just changing this event so that it only can fire for contact form submit. I'm just changing the name little bit, contact form submit. And these cases we need to change some event, and then we should get this information. From here we need to choose the data layer form ID, and our correct form ID for this form is this one, and save it. Now if we go to our ticket form, and I'm just copying the information and going to preview mode again, this is connected. Now if I go our ticket form, I'm just submitting the form like before, and you see that we are here. There is no contact form save and submit. Just if I submit the thing, you see that contact form 7 event has fired, but this cases the GA4 contact form submit tag does not fire. And if we go to our contact page, you see this way, and this is the subject and sending the form, and again the CF7 data layer event has fired as well as the GA4 contact form submit event has fired. So if we like to track our ticket form, we can also do the thing this way. These cases we only need to create another event with this form ID. Let's copy our form ID. The form ID for the ticket form is this one, and from here we can go to the data layer variable, data layer. Then we can easily copy the form ID. This is the form ID, and now we need to go to our trigger section to create new trigger for ticket from submit. And from here we need to select data layer event, so ticket form submit, and this cases of course we need to use custom event CS7 submit, and this is for some event, and we need to choose the form ID as well as it is equal to the exact right ID. This is the event. Now we need to create another tag for tracking the information for submit ticket. Just I am clicking new and then ZF4 submit ticket, and then of course we need to choose the ZF4 event, and in this cases we also need to use measurement ID, and from the event parameter if you need, and of course we need to use the right event name which will show in our Google Analytics dashboard. This is ticket submit, and then event parameter if you need you can use. I'm just using the form ID. This is the form ID, as well as we can take another information like customer. It is depend on as your requirement. If you like, you can take all of the information from user inputs. I am just taking this only the username. If you need, you can collect the email address, subject, and other information which is came with the form submission. So I'm taking those two form and save it. Before saving, of course we need to choose a trigger, right trigger. The right trigger for the submit ticket event is ticket from submit, and then save it. So right now there are two GA4 event. One is contact from submit, another is submit ticket. Now again, if we go to the preview mode, continue, and then I am just going to my first form. Actually this form and form of the contact page is both at the same form, and another one is ticket form. Just I am submitting from my contact page. Same. And if we check our preview, we see that CS7 data layer event has fired, as well as the tag fired is contact form submit. And now if we go to the open ticket, and if we fill the information with everything and submit it, and if we come back, and again the CF7 event is fired, but these cases you see that GF4 submit ticket tag fire. So both cases we are getting actually contact form 7 CF7 submit data layer event, but we have applied some condition with the form ID for triggering two different tag. One tag is for submit ticket, one tag is for contact form submit. And let's we go our Google Analytics and check the thing. You see that we have there are contact form submit event, and as well as you see that the ticket submit event with all of the information. for my TA as well as customer. So this is all. Hope this video will help you to perfectly tracking your contact form 7 with all of the user provided information, as well as if you need to create a different kind of event based on your user submitted value, you also be able to do this using this code. If you have any question, of course you can write down in the video comment. I will surely answer your question. And if you like the video, hit the like button, as well as I recommend you to subscribe my channel for taking this kind of video more quickly. Thank you very much.